You
This
and your
waiting is
ride or
messing with
die
my
are
head. I
posted
need
up
to
at
know
the
why.
station
Me
platform,
too. The train's a
killing
ghost.
time
Let's
on
just
a
walk.
weathered
Yeah, let's
bench
go.
while waiting for your locomotive to roll through. The anticipation of this journey's got both of you wired, hearts pumping with that pre-adventure adrenaline. But today's different. Today, you're both feeling that itch in your skull, that need to understand the why behind everything. Restlessness kicks in hard. The train's still ghost, so you two decide to pound pavement through the downtown sprawl. 30 seconds out the station doors, you spot it. A monument to water and stone, this massive fountain that looks like it survived empires. Multi-tiered waterworks cascade down its ancient architecture, and the whole spectacle commands respect. But what catches your eye is the basin, completely carpeted with currency. Coins. Everywhere. And even now, strangers are lobbing metal into the depths like it's some kind of ritual tax. Not wanting to tempt fate, you fish out some change and launch it into the drink. The second that coin leaves your grip, your brain kicks into overdrive. Asterisk, what kind of hustle is this? Why am I literally throwing money away? Asterisk. Lucky for you, your partner's carrying this beat-up tome about humanity's forgotten customs. And today, this dusty book's about to earn its weight. Your friend cracks it open, flips to the marked section, and drops knowledge. This fountain ritual isn't some modern gimmick. It's ancient as dirt itself. We're talking millennia. The practice survived because people kept doing it without questioning, passing it down like contraband through generations. The most accepted origin story: Roman, Celtic, and British mythology. Picture this. You're out in the wild, thirsty as hell, and you stumble onto fresh running water, a spring, a creek, something clean and life-giving. Back then, that wasn't luck. That was divine intervention. Some water deity just blessed you with survival itself. So naturally, you owe the cosmos. You settle your debt by leaving offerings, gold, silver, whatever currency held value, right there in the water source. It's beautiful in its gratitude for nature, but also darkly ironic. You find clean water, then immediately contaminate it with your grimy pocket change. Especially if those coins have been stored in unfortunate places. Here's the kicker. Even older civilizations without coin money did the same thing. They'd leave food, polished stones, hand-carved totems, medicinal herbs, anything of value to thank the water spirits for their generosity. As empires rose and fell, as religions morphed and belief systems evolved, the action remained constant. Only the reasoning changed. Roman travelers would toss coins into fountains before long journeys, buying safe passage from whatever forces controlled fate. Fast forward to now, 2026. Most people chucking coins into fountains are just playing along, hoping for a sprinkle of good fortune without understanding they're performing a ritual older than written language. Your friend closes the book with that satisfied look of someone who just connected dots. You both feel weirdly blessed now, like you've unintentionally activated some protective charm for your upcoming trip. But the lecture ran long. The train's approaching. You both scramble back to the platform, barely making it before the doors seal. Settled into your seats, the rhythm of the rails lulls you into productivity mode. You crack open your laptop, ready to grind through some work during these next few hours. But as the machine boots up, your eyes drift to the keyboard, and that inquisitive demon in your head starts whispering again. Asterisk, who designed this layout? Why is ASDF the home row? What psychopath decided QWERTY made sense? Wouldn't alphabetical order be simpler? Asterisk. Your friend's already 3 steps ahead, flipping through the tome to the keyboard section. The explanation: this layout was born in the 1870s, not ancient, but definitely vintage enough to qualify as a fossil practice. Back then, keyboards didn't exist. Typewriters did. And the earliest prototypes? Dead simple. AZ, straight line, logical as hell. Problem was, typists were too damn good. Common letter combinations, YEF, AS, NO, D, sat right next to each other. Skilled operators would hammer keys so fast the mechanical arms would collide mid-strike, jamming the whole apparatus. Machines would seize up, metal would bend, productivity would crater. The industry needed a nerf patch for human efficiency. Enter Christopher Scholes, the architect of intentional slowdown. His solution? Scatter commonly paired letters across the keyboard to force typists to decelerate. QWERTY was born not from ergonomic brilliance, but from mechanical limitation, a design meant to sabotage speed to protect fragile machinery. The hilarious tragedy: typists in the 1870s were so competent they literally broke their tools by being too skilled. Imagine mastering your craft only to have your equipment redesigned specifically to handicap you. Now picture the frustration. You're an expert typist, muscle memory locked in, and suddenly everything's scrambled. Your friend mentions he recently got a gaming keyboard with 6 extra macro keys on the left side. And for weeks, he kept hitting M6 instead of escape, A instead of shift. That's a minor adjustment. Imagine relearning the entire alphabet's position. The bitter irony? That's precisely why QWERTY survived into the digital age. Modern keyboards don't have mechanical arms. Keys don't jam. We could switch to optimized layouts right now, and alternative designs do exist. But QWERTY became the industry standard for typewriters, which meant training programs standardized around it, which meant skill sets calcified around it, which meant when computers arrived, the format just migrated. Now, over a century later, even though the original problem is extinct, we're locked into an obsolete solution. Switching would cause more chaos than it's worth. The tradition survives not because it's efficient, but because it's embedded. Your friend slams the book shut, and a cloud of ancient dust erupts from the pages. He immediately sneezes, violent, theatrical, launching biological material onto the seat in front of him. Without thinking, you respond, "Bless you." But before he can wipe away evidence of his nasal explosion, you stop him. "Wait, open that book again." Why do we say that? Your friend sighs, flips pages, and delivers the revelation. The "bless you" response to sneezing is one of humanity's most persistent traditions, still practiced globally despite most people having zero understanding of its roots. One origin story traces back to ancient Greece and Rome. They interpreted sneezing as a supernatural event, sometimes good, usually bad. 2 main theories circulated. Theory 1 *, your soul temporarily exits your body when you sneeze, leaving you vulnerable. Satan or malicious entities could snatch your essence in that split second. Witnesses would bless you immediately, forming a protective barrier to keep your soul from being stolen. Theory 2 *, sneezing meant you were expelling demons. The "bless you" was verbal reinforcement, helping eject evil spirits from your system. Either way, people treated sneezes like casual exorcisms. What we now consider polite etiquette was once literal spiritual warfare. There's also the medieval European angle. During the bubonic plague, sneezing was interpreted as an early warning sign of infection. When someone sneezed, bystanders would bless them, not as protection, but as last rites. A preemptive farewell before the disease consumed them. Bottom line, whether you believe it's about protecting souls or blessing the dying, nobody today is performing spiritual intervention when they mutter "bless you" after someone sneezes. It's just linguistic autopilot, politeness divorced from its original purpose. Side note, Gesundheit comes from German, roughly meaning good health. It's a 20th century alternative with the same well-wishing intent, but without the divine baggage. If you say Gesundheit, leave a comment below so everyone can judge you accordingly. Your friend closes the book for the second time. Another dust explosion triggers another sneeze. More biological residue decorates the seat ahead. You both freeze, assessing the biohazard situation in silence. That's when you overhear the passengers in front of you discussing natural disasters, specifically hurricanes. Each storm they mention has a human name attached to it. Your curiosity ignites again. * Why do storms get names? Especially women's names for so long. *. You don't vocalize the question. You just point at the book with that look. Your friend, resigned to his role as historical narrator, opens to the storm naming section. The tradition emerged in the 1800s. Caribbean islands and coastal regions getting hammered by hurricanes started naming storms after saints, specifically, whichever saint's feast day fell closest to when the storm hit. Hurricane Santa Ana on July 26, 1925, for example. But globally, most regions just used coordinates, latitude and longitude, which was technically precise but practically useless. Normal people don't memorize their exact geographic position. And tracking multiple storms simultaneously meant juggling strings of numbers instead of simple identifiers. Early 1900s, non-numerical naming gained traction, but only after storms hit. They'd name storms retrospectively based on the locations they destroyed. Didn't save lives, just made record-keeping easier. 1950s, United States. Meteorologists started pre-naming storms alphabetically using military phonetic alphabet. Abel, Baker, Charlie. Lasted 3 years. 1953, they switched to exclusively female names. Alphabetical order, but only women's names. Sharp-eyed viewers will notice. Modern storms have male names too. When did that start? 1979. That means for 26 years, storms were exclusively named after women. The sexism is blatant, and whether they added male names for fairness or because they ran out of female names is anyone's guess. That's a whole separate ancient tradition we're not unpacking here. Modern edition, retiring names. If a storm causes catastrophic damage, its name gets permanently blacklisted. No future storm will ever be called Katrina again. Your friend posits, naming storms after coordinates was overcomplicated, but human names feel too casual, too personal. There's probably a middle ground, something scientific but memorable. German car designations, for example, C63 AMG, M340i, A8, Porsche 911 GTS. Technical enough to sound official, simple enough to remember. Giving storms human names almost personalizes them too much. Like how media outlets accidentally brand serial killers with cool nicknames. Not helpful. If there's a kid named Luke in school and Hurricane Luke rolls through town, that kid's getting roasted mercilessly during every news update. Luke's coming. Look what Luke did. That's psychological warfare for a 9-year-old. You close the section, reflecting with your friend. You mutter, "Grateful I live somewhere without hurricanes. Snow and taxes, sure. But no hurricanes? That's a win." Your friend agrees, then mentions his upcoming Florida trip. "Hopefully no hurricane hits while I'm down there," he says, then immediately knocks on the nearest wooden surface. You know that look. Before you can ask, he's already flipping to the wood-knocking section. Knocking on wood shares DNA with the coin-tossing tradition. Both involve humans believing they're interfacing with supernatural forces to summon fortune or deflect misfortune. Celtic and Germanic folklore held that benevolent spirits, fairies, sprites, nature guardians, lived inside trees. When you needed luck, you'd touch or knock on a tree to wake these spirits and request their favor. Or you'd knock to express gratitude for blessings already received. This wasn't unique to Europe. Trees have been considered sacred across virtually every culture throughout history. Knocking on wood is just one manifestation of that reverence, evolved and diluted over time. Most people knocking on wood today aren't praying to tree spirits. They don't even know why they're doing it. But they're still engaging in superstition, still performing a ritual anchored in ancient belief systems. That demonstrates the enduring power of tradition across millennia. Trees really are remarkable. Every civilization recognized that. Knocking on wood is our lingering acknowledgement of something we've mostly forgotten. Conversation exhausted, day has bled into night. The train employee approaches with the beverage cart. You and your friend each grab drinks. Before sipping, you delicately clink glasses together, then drink. Your friend doesn't need the book this time. He already knows this one. After a deep gulp, he explains. There are multiple theories about why people cheers their drinks. Most popular * poison detection. In times when poisoning rivals was common, people would clink glasses with force, sloshing liquid between cups. If your drink contaminated theirs and they hesitated to drink, you'd know yours was poisoned. Ancient-level strategic paranoia. Alternative theory * scaring off evil spirits. The loud clinking sound was believed to frighten demons away, similar to ringing church bells. The noise itself was protective. Today, cheers is about unity and respect. Though if you genuinely suspect poison, clinking harder might help, assuming your glassware can withstand impact. Most modern drinkware shatters instantly, leaving you with liquid everywhere and glass shards embedded in your palm. Better strategy, subscribe to the channel. Over 1.1 million subscribers strong, targeting 2 million. strict no poisoning policy. If you want more videos like this exploring ancient traditions still practiced today, drop a like or comment part 2. New videos every Friday. As you finish drinks, you notice the train employee returning, this time carrying a birthday cake. It's not your birthday. Your friend, however, has the smug expression of someone who lied to staff to embarrass you and score free dessert. After the crew finishes singing, you're left with cake and a single lit candle. Before you blow it out, curiosity strikes again. Your friend reopens the book one final time. Candles on cakes trace back thousands of years to ancient Greece. They'd bake round cakes honoring Artemis, goddess of the moon. The cakes replicated the moon's shape, and candles on top mimicked its glow, an edible lunar tribute. After crafting their moonlight replica, they'd make wishes. The smoke rising from the candles was believed to carry prayers directly to Artemis, who might grant their desires. Over centuries, the tradition migrated from moon worship to general celebrations, eventually landing on birthdays. The act of letting candles burn transformed into blowing them out, accelerating the smoke's ascent and amplifying the wish's potency. Today, almost nobody's praying to Artemis, but the ritual remains nearly identical to its ancient form, which is fascinating and gives you a conversation starter for every birthday party. It's darkly comedic. Imagine ancient worshippers preparing offerings to moon deities, only for someone to interrupt. Hey, can we do this tomorrow? It's my birthday. We'll pray together, then eat the cake. Slowly, a religious ceremony morphed into personal celebration. That's why we blow out candles. Not because we're aspiring firefighters, but because millennia ago, humans wanted the moon to make their dreams real. You and your friend demolish the cake. The sugar crash hits hard. You close your eyes, surrendering to exhaustion before the train reaches its destination. And there you have it, this narrative-driven exploration of ancient traditions reborn in modern contexts. Recently, I've been converting standard list formats into full storytelling experiences, and the response has been overwhelmingly positive. If you enjoyed this approach, signal your support with engagement, likes, comments requesting sequels, whatever feels right. If you want another story-based deep dive, check out the video on screen now about real-life glitches we experience daily. Everyday phenomena that function like system errors in reality itself. If this resonated, that one will too. Thanks for riding along. And as always, trust the process.